concerns as well. Our next option is a foreclosure, and there's a couple of variations about this. You could also do something called a deed in lieu, where you just deed the property back to the lender. From a credit and functional perspective, there's really no difference between that. Generally, a lender won't even approve a deed in lieu until you've already tried a short sale and the short sale has failed. So most people, or some people, when they're in a difficult situation, they need to sell a home quickly because maybe they can't afford it any longer. Consider foreclosure as one of their options. So let's go through the foreclosure. What's the offer? Well, there is no offer and there's no formula. The biggest, of course, problem or downside with a foreclosure is the atomic bomb of credit scars. It is the big one that cuts your score the deepest and it lasts the longest. And I know that some sellers think, oh, I'm just so tired of this house. I just want to walk away. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to deal with this. And they think that a foreclosure is kind of the end of the problem. But the truth is that a foreclosure is really the beginning of a 10-year nightmare that starts with, having your home foreclosed on the courthouse steps. If you're still in the home, you get evicted. The sheriff would even drag you and your family out onto the curb with all your stuff. Most people move out before that. But then you have a decade of creditors calling, dealing with deficiency judgments, tax implications, not being able to get a credit card or buy a car, and some jobs will even be affected by your credit standing. In other words, some people even have trouble getting employment after foreclosure. So I guess the bottom line is I would really strongly recommend that a foreclosure is not a very good option, but it is one of the considerations that some people have. Not most, but some people have, depending on their individual circumstance when they're selling a home. The good news about a foreclosure is, right, it doesn't cost you anything, but like a short sale, there can be deficiency judgments, 1099s, and a variety of other financial and credit implications. Our last option is an option called a mortgage assignment. And a mortgage assignment is basically where the seller assigns their mortgage payments to a buyer in exchange for transfer of ownership. In other words, the buyer is going to make the payment on the seller's loan going forward. Now, I do want to explain this is not a loan assumption. A loan assumption is when the lender transfers the loan from the seller to the buyer. And virtually no loans are assumable, and lenders generally don't approve loan assumptions. They would have to requalify the buyer. However, an assignment is a little bit different. An assignment is only approved by the seller, and the seller gets into a contractual agreement with the buyer where the buyer is now responsible for making the payment on the existing loan in exchange for ownership. When you sell a home with a mortgage assignment, just like any type of an owner financing situation, because lending is difficult now because loans are at a premium, when a home comes with a loan, generally that home will sell for a premium. It will sell faster and it will sell for more money. So the fair market value of a home that comes with financing is basically the loan balance. So in this example with our generic house, you would expect to get an offer for $155,000. Is this impact your credit? No. How long does it take? Typically 2 to 6 weeks. Mortgage assignments or selling homes with financing in this way goes down pretty quickly. In fact, we have hundreds and hundreds of buyers, in fact, nationally, thousands of buyers that already are wanting to buy houses this way. So we can basically match these buyers up with these homes in a very, very quick fashion. And of course, the good news with a mortgage assignment is you don't have to bring any money to the table. In other words, it's actually the buyer that's paying all of the closing costs in these transactions. So those are the 5 different options that you have when you're selling a home. We'd be happy to kind of explain your particular situation and see which option might be the best fit for you.